So what's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be going through a top 8 deck analysis from the TKETTST, the largest online UniVersus event that we have had thus far over on my Twitch, twitch.tv/TamCardwell. So if you missed it, you're watching this on YouTube, go out and click the link in the description down below. Give it a follow for whenever I go live. We're going to be doing that significantly more often. And with that said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. Let's go ahead and move on to second place, Sam Tate's Raptor 2. The second Raptor inside of this. If you notice over here, I've got a very committed Lord Raptor deck piloted by Bear Bryant. Shout outs to him. The thing is with this tournament, the TKETTST, and Rochester's new rule set, that they have reduced diversity from 8 unique characters down to 6. And so we had 2 Raptors squeak in 2 tops. And the rest of this was all very, very organic. We did not have a diversity issue except for the Raptors, which I think is very cool. He was, I think, the most represented character in the event. And so the people who played the most of that character got to continue to play. That's cool. It was cool. So anywho, let's go ahead and take a look at Sam's deck. Okay. So we have already talked analysis about Lord Raptor, and so no offense to Sam, I'm gonna gloss over some of the points. If you want to see more analysis of how Lord Raptor works, you can also catch the Bear Bryant deck profile. I highly suggest that YouTube in order to get a well-rounded Lord Raptor picture. But basically, Lord Raptor's game plan is very simple. We're playing flash attacks. We're playing attacks that are unique to Lord Raptor because he kind of skips an entire third of the game, which is enhanced steps, which personally I think is very, very cool. I love Lord Raptor. I think this character is very, very rad, very divisive inside of the UniVersus community at current time. With the ability to destroy foundations, pump speed or damage on your cool attacks, and have an immense defense of every time you block with one of your attack cards, it's harder for your opponent to try and hit you back. This character is kind of exceptionally well-rounded. Kind of exceptionally? He is exceptionally well-rounded. And so the main, the thick attack, the attack that you never want to see your opponent play is Hurricane of Death. This thing is a 6 difficulty monster, but it is a 0 mid block with Breaker 2. That is a printed 6 low for 6 that gets cheaper when you're half dead, that destroys another one of my opponent's foundations, destroys one off of Lord Raptor, and gets speed or damage off of Lord Raptor and gets damage off of destroying that foundation. This card is just an absolute beating. If you are able to play 4 of these in a turn, you've won the game, or something has gone horrifically wrong. Yeah, this card is very, very strong. The next attack that I have listed here is Stinging Skull, and this is like Hurricane of Death Light. This is Hurricane of Death Junior, and this card just kind of does everything that Hurricane of Death does, everything that Lord Raptor wants to do as an attack, right? If it's blocked, your opponent commits a foundation so that when you play your next one, you blow one up with Lord Raptor, and if it's not blocked, you punish them even harder by hitting them for an extra 2 damage. But it's even better than plus 2 damage. It's burn 2 vitality. So even if they partially block, P.S. Hey, announcement out there, everybody, don't partially block this attack. You're not allowed to do that. Not a thing you can do. Yeah, don't partial block it. You will be absolutely punished. Yeah, it's just exceptionally good to play pretty much at any point in the game. Playing 4 Stinging Skulls, way easier and just as potent as 4 Hurricane of Deaths. Super good. Up next, we've got 4 Leg Shredders, kind of the bread and butter of this, or probably pound for pound the best card in this deck. It is a flash attack as a 3 diff, which means it can be played on turn 1, that commits one of my opponent's foundations, which means every time that I play Leg Shredder, I get to trigger Lord Raptor. So on turn 2, I can Leg Shredder into Lord Raptor, which feels delicious. It feels super, super good. As well as it after it is removed from the game, which we remove things with Lord Raptor's ability, I get to ready any foundation that I'd like to. It doesn't even say that it hasn't been readied this turn. So I can just constantly be reusing any of these cool commit cost cards that I need. Very, very strong. Up next, attack-wise, we've got 4 Azuna Drop. In the other list that Barrett was playing, he was only playing 2 of this card. Azuna Drop is a flash throw attack, which is super potent because Lord Raptor just gives it a bunch of stats. If we are half dead, it gets even stronger, so it's possible that a 3 high for 10 flash attack is going to be coming at them. And if they half block it, if they deal with this this attack, I'm getting rid of one of their most potent, desirable resources. Their entire momentum, it's gone. It's just absolutely gone. Very, very cool card. One of the strongest Street Fighter cards in that set, and it gets only better with Lord Raptor. Up next, a kind of an interesting choice. We have Sweet Chainsaw Music at a 2 of. The only momentum outlet that any of Lord Raptor's attacks have, honestly, any flash attacks, that most flash attacks have in general, Sweet Chainsaw Music says, at the end of the turn, you remove from the game the momentum. You remove from the game the attacks that have hit them, look at these Azuna drops, to go and pick up flash attacks from your discard pile. So you always have a kill turn on your next swing. I've got 3 momentum. I'll get rid of those attacks. They're out of here. I'll pick these ones up. Very, very good. And then my last, the only non-flash attack in the deck, is Dragon's Tongue. Hey, I would love to reset. You have built up too much stuff. Let's blow all this stuff up. Let's run it again. This card is very, very good. It is a 1-mid block with Breaker 2, and Raptor is very, very good at playing on that first turn. He's stellar at it. He wants to go first, and so with Dragon, or he wants my opponent to have a small staging area, and so with Dragon's Tongue as a card, we are allowed to play slow. Okay, up next we've got let's talk about the quality of attacks. I think the attack lineup is fantastic. I'm not sure that I love Sweet Chainsaw Music at a 2 of. I think at a 1 of it is beautiful. I think it's a very, very good, very potent card. Yeah, I'm not 100% positive that we need it at a 2 of. I actually would rather see something along the lines of Spirit Shotgun here, like what Barrett's playing. Barrett jammed as many shotguns as he could because of how good that card is, but Sam and Barrett knows that both of those are basically throws, and we'd rather have our throw not be able to be interactable as opposed to Spirit Shotgun, which does get bigger than Azuna Drop, but you can do things to kind of stop it. I think 1 shotgun here would actually be really solid, or find another cool utility attack, because if you absolutely need to, you can just go find Sweet Chainsaw Music with Heal by a Shaman, right? If you absolutely desire to have this card. And we'll only ever really trigger 1 of them per game. Man, I don't think you need 2 of it. Onto the actions and assets. Triple Tagore Brothers. Lord Raptors want to destroy stuff. Yeah, let's destroy some more stuff. Tagore Brothers plus Bang means that my opponent doesn't have foundations. They don't have foundations. They don't have their character. And we can already go ahead and jump into Showtime, which says my opponent's attacks are also... my opponent's attacks are also significantly worse. Fidu, I insist Chainsaw is mega bad. So Sweet Chainsaw, I think, is a fine attack, like I said, at a 1 of. I think it is totally fine. I don't think that it is necessary inside of the deck, but I think that it is good enough with how you... I think that it is good enough to make it into a list, right? Obviously, the attack... Like, we saw the attack be worth it on stream at least once, right? He removed 2 momentum and found 2 attacks and had 2 shamans. That means that he was for sure killing his opponent, right? It just guarantees that you have a kill turn next turn, which I personally think is good. That at least that's how I feel. If I were playing Raptor right now, I would insist on trying to have 1 copy of it in my deck. Up next, we've got Bang. Bang turning off my opponent's character. I think we ever talked about that. Swordfish 2. Enhance, add this card to momentum, negate this attack. Put this in their momentum. Super, super good. We take, and that's where there aren't very many good replacements. I completely agree. Yeah. The only issue that you have to have, right, is you have to have a second use for that momentum. At absolute most, you take 2 momentum if you are playing Sweet Chainsaw Music. We never have to worry about the momentum cost off of Guardian's Final Duty. It doesn't matter because we are out racing them with Lord Raptor. If we could find some other momentum out under the death symbol in our foundation lineup or in our in our attack lineup, we'd be golden, right? Even if it was, I was about to try to get crazy. I'm about to get crazy. Hold on, boys. Hold on. What if we played Manji Ninjutsu under death? We add in a couple weapon foundations, and now I don't check bad ever on my flash attacks. Huh? How does that sound? Huh. I'm crazy? Maybe one day there'll be room to do that. If we just jammed 4 Manji Ninjutsus in the deck, what happens there? First form check a 7, steal a momentum. Guarantee I check a 5. Guarantee I check a 5 on my Hurricane of Death. I'll take that. I'll take that 7 days a week. That actually sounds hype as hell. That sounds super good. Play Warrior of a Lost Clan? Yeah, I agree. Guaranteed 6 check? Yeah. Yes. Why are we not? See, this is why we do these kind of things. We're exploring the space, and it all came from Sam playing this insisted upon bad card, right? You just gotta find ways to make it work. Anywho, Swordfish 2, hey, that negates an attack. It shoves it in their momentum. They don't get to play with it anymore. And now we've got Baby Swordfish 2 with Drossel. Drossel says, hold on, pause champ. Yes. Drossel says, if they have a momentum, yay. We also shove another one of their attacks into their momentum, but only playable whenever we are half dead. Yeah, I think that is a super, super good. My girlfriend has asked me another question of what would I like, and man, I just got to get through these YouTube videos before 7 o'clock, so I just don't have time to answer. I do. Anywho, moving on to our foundations. It feels good to be bad. This card is fantastic. As we talked about inside of Barrett's deck, remove one of these flash attacks for minus speed is beautiful. It's super, super good. And I think being able to play 4 of this for minus speed as well as being able to ready foundations is very strong. Can you pick and just tell me so that I can get it? I have 50 minutes to get through 2 more deck profiles.
Okay. Are we eating afterwards?
I don't know.
Okay.
You decide.
Do you want something from here or for me to pick something up?
I love you. Yeah, it feels good to be bad. It's crazy good. It's crazy good. Sorry about that, guys. It's crazy, crazy good. Up next, we've got Syndicate Target. Syndicate Target 060 low block. Man, if this card had the weapon keyword, our Manji Ninjutsu play would be absolutely fantastic. The reason this card is in here is that it's got a 0 low block. It's really good versus the Raptor Mirror because this card is potent and low. This card is potent and low. It's really, really good. It feels fantastic in here, as well as it's a 0/6. We love building it as a 7 hand size character because of the Tim Keefe experimental tournament, experimental TTS tournament rules. Player 2 gets to draw 2 additional cards, and so we draw the 2 extra cards and play out the big long strings for the same reason that Over the Top existed. As a 9 hand size character, I want to build out as many cards as I can. So Over the Top, being able to build out here, it's possible if you are not afraid. You could easily build all 9 of your cards. Feels great. Up next, we get to the best foundation in our kit, and that is Healed by a Shaman. This card is borderline unfair, and it's the reason that Lord Raptor is so crazy good, honestly. It is not the fact that it's flash attacked, it's the fact that if he has one flash attack, he has X flash attacks. X equals the number of Healed by a Shamans times the number, or plus the number of leg shredders that we have inside of our discard pile. Commit, discard your whole hand. After an attack is played, add a flash from a discard pile to your hand. Whether it be this cool 0 mid block, this cool 2 low block, this cool 2 high block that all have breaker 2 on my opponent's turn, or whatever neat attack that I do. I actually like Raptor with a lowish attack count. Yeah, because you don't need attacks because you've got Healed by a Shaman. Why would you need to have a ton of attacks when you can just go pick them up out of your discard pile? Seems really rad. Super good. And the Hail Mary form flip. If you've got 0 cards in your hand, draw a card, gain 2, play ball committed. Neat. Okay, we have Kieran Soul. Kieran Soul is throw hate, something that Lord Raptor very much needs. With Vicious Madnesses running around everywhere, Kieran Soul says that I'm allowed to block attacks and they deal no damage. So not only do they deal no damage, I'm going to breaker you really hard. We already talked about Showtime, but the thing that I didn't talk about Showtime in relation to Tagoro Brothers and Bang is not only does it negate abilities, but it also gives extra damage as well. And so with Lord Raptor giving speed or damage on whatever I want, Showtime says that I am going to be giving extra damage. And then with Raptor, I'm probably going to be giving speed. Or, heck, with my super sweet Azuna Drop throws, I'm doubling down. This says plus 5 damage, plus 7 damage if I am in desperation. A 13 damage throw. Take that, Vicious Madness. Yeah. Up next, we've got Guardian's Final Duty. Part of the reason that Lord Raptor is back on the map is this card is so crazy good. If I have more remove from game cards than my opponent, which I'm removing 2 every time that I play one of my attacks, I get to just discard an attack from the card pool. It's like Swordfish, but crazy, right? Yeah, this card's super good. It does not have a block though, even though I know it says 5 high. No blocks there. Sorry, buddy. Up next, we've got Dark Side of Karma. This is kind of the Showtime of Foundations. After my opponent, or excuse me, the Showtime of other enhances that aren't weapons. After they play any non-weapon enhance, non-character non-weapon enhance, cancel it. Which is just super good. If you got an ability on a character card, or excuse me, got an ability on a cool asset, get rid of it. Got a cool ability on your non-weapon attack, stop it. This card is super potent. Honestly, could easily see ability at a 3 of and be fine. Up next, we've got Double Unlikely Romance. This card says that if my opponent attempts to destroy any of my foundations, I can cancel it. So my Tagoro Brothers, when they try to blow up my my Heal by a Shaman, I destroy this guy instead, playable while committed, in order to say no to that. Very strong effect. I think that we could easily have 2 of this in our deck, as well as 2 Shadow of a Cowboy, if deck size permits it, right? Our low blocks seem pretty good. We could easily play a couple shadows here and feel fine about it. Up next, we've got Shell of a Proud Man. The first time seeing this card inside of our tops, and this card is a very good one. Shell of a Proud Man is more throw hate, very similar to Kieran Soul, but it is also a damage pump that the death symbol gets at response speed. After my attack is not blocked, my opponent loses 2 vitality. And so it's kind of like another Stinging Skull that I get to play. It's very good. I like this. I like Stinging Skull and Shell of a Proud Man a ton in this deck. It's very solid. Up next, I have Wishing Ward, Momentum Disruption. This card is totally fine, as well as a little discard hate. The big thing is Sleigh Ride Stowaway is all over the place inside of the meta at the moment, and Wishing Ward says that my opponents just don't get to have that free momentum. I get to keep that in check, all while discarding cards into my discard pile and making sure that my Raptor is staying alive. Up next, Double Conquest of Terror. Flip -2 speed is a fantastic ability and could be on plenty of cards. This is a very good one. It means that I have to remove less cards with my Feels Good to be Bad in order to be able to block things. Hunt for Spiders and Dragons, a proactive way to turn off my opponent's staging area. So if I have I have an issue, a lot of times whenever you're facing off against Lord Raptor, you are destroying your committed bad cards. And keeping your cool face-up cards. Well, because the Hunt for Spiders and Dragons exists, and I get to pick the cards that I am destroying, that I'm flipping, I get to just boop, stop your cool thing. Very, very cool attack. In order to trigger that destroy effect with Lord Raptor, though, we are playing one Thrilled to each you. First form commit. Your opponent commits one foundation. Your next flash or weapon attack gets +2 speed. And so every attack that you play is Leg Shredder. Is it Uzuna Drop? Leg Shredder. Is it Hurricane of Death? Leg Shredder. Card's very, very solid. The only card that it does not get the speed on is Dragon's Tongue, because its speed can't be modified. Up next, we've got one Most Trusted Assassin. Breaker mixed with the Most Trusted Assassin -1 to the check is very, very potent. Specifically because it says that Most Trusted Assassin does not say that if you fail that card, your turn is not over. And so with -1 to your check, -2 to your check, because of how Breaker works, -3 to your check to play your next card. If it's a 6 diff, you're basically asking them to play it on a 9. Ooh, yuck. This card's super, super strong. It's very, very strong. And then lastly, we have Sinister Malevolence. This is very good versus, honestly, our winner of the game, winner of the match, the tournament, Cassandra, of building cards in. This is after your opponent as a non-character card. Oh, after your opponent has a non-character card in the stitching area during the combat phase, remove it from the game. Yeah, so they build in an asset. They build in a foundation with Meteor. No, I don't think so. You don't get to have that guy. If it was important enough, you just get rid of it. Yeah. Nirvana could be useful in this deck as a one-off, I feel. I completely agree. As I said during Barrett's profile, I think one of the big things that kills Raptor is multiple. Multiple absolutely demolishes Raptor. And so unless you have Shell of a Proud Man to stop that, that is an issue. As well as Nirvana lets you on defense ready your healed by a shaman once in order to keep running through it. I think Nirvana, Swordfish, Drossel could easily exist inside of this deck, and you feel totally fine. Shane, I completely agree. So on to the main deck analysis. I think all in all, I think it's good. I think this needs to be cut possibly for a shotgun. I'm not in love with these. I would probably put in Shadow of a Cowboys just to hedge out my stuff. And I like this card a ton at a 2 of. I think this card's amazing. I don't know what I would take and replace the Hunt in. Possibly just put another one on top of it. Just toss another Hunt for Spiders and Dragons on top of the list. Yeah, onto the sideboard. Search. Okay, so we've got 1 Kirin Soul, bringing it up to 4 that we can have at the main board. Throws are very scary, everybody. Please listen up. 1 more Tagora Brothers counter, which is good. Double Sinister Malevolence. I'm sure that we another deck that doesn't have Guardian plus Blood, Sweat, and Beers. Shake my head. I agree, man. Hey, there are too many good cards in UniVersus to make everybody's deck look exactly the same. Jose, if you ever decide to play Raptor for the first time ever, you should definitely put Guardian of the Spirit Sword and Blood, Sweat, and Beers in your deck. Sinister Malevolence is such a solid counter to a ton of cool cards. It's super good. I want cards like this in the My Hero set. This is what I want. Onto the actions that we have in our sideboard. We've got triple Demon Realm Awakening. So we now have 7, 8, 9 cards that take away the throw keyword. Wow, that is super important. Yeah, as well as replace themselves. We are very afraid of being thrown to death. And then Prepare to Fight, which beats the multiple keyword that I talked about earlier. Yeah, this is a fairly well-rounded sideboard. Is there anything in the sideboard that I think we could possibly need? I do like Dragon's Tongue being in the main board and not in the sideboard here. I actually think if you're going to play Dragon's Tongue, I think you just always main board it. Always. You would rather side it out than to be forced to side it in, I feel. That's how I feel. Yeah. But but yes, thank you very much for watching. If you have any suggestions for Sam, please leave them in the comments down below or Twitch chat. Talk to me about it right now. Prepare to Fight is a very interesting as an answer to things you can't show time. Yeah, I completely agree. But for that reason, I'd play Airtron. I totally agree. Yeah. Yeah, I'm super impressed with how these deck lists are going, because I have not actually looked at any of these deck lists since seeing them play, right? I've not looked at what the lists do proper, and so I am not 100% positive. But that is why we are moving on to